want look for a better job. There always can never be enough, although the boss treat them very good, and yet they still think they want to find for a better job, for more money. And most of the people nowadays, they don't stay on one job for the rest of their life. Whereas those were the days that, if we stick on to a good boss, and then they will continue and work for them for the rest of their life. I think maybe even my father do. He works in a estate, and he feels comfortable working there. And he tried, not just he worked for the rest of his whole life, but he tried to convince me to join him to work in the same job. He said it's a good job. I think nowadays people don't do that. Everyone try to look for a better job to get a better living, or maybe to increase the level of their standard of living. Now, I also actually go into a bit more detail to study the, let's say for example, some of you all might be age 25 or some are more, you count your own age. I take an example of age 25, if they start to work for somebody. And up to age 55 retirement, it's about 30 years. And within these 30 years, if assume that if the person worked for 2,000 ringgit salary per month, and a year will be at 24,000. For the 30 years, it will be 600,000 only. If we take another example, that if the salary per month is 3,000, and for the next for a year will be 36,000, for this the rest of their life they be able to earn 1 million. And how about if somebody who can have salary of per month 5,000, so for the rest will be average at about 1.8 million. Now looking at a million looks like the amount is quite big one. Today in Kuala Lumpur, if we were to look into how much can we do from this 1 million, I think actually it is a very little amount already. Just see that how much can you live left over for age 55 for your retirement if your income is approximately at about 1 million. Nowadays, the Malaysian people, they don't just even own just one car. Most of the house now they own 2 cars, 3 cars, and even more. But we are looking at just like one car, for example, that nowadays 100,000 to 200,000 cars are very common already, right? You buy a Camry, for example, a Toyota, is also 100,000. Maybe a Honda Accord also comes to about 200,000. I think 200,000 is a reasonable figure, average for you to buy a car for rest of your life. Then if let's say you buy a house in Kuala Lumpur, 500,000 house I think is reasonably small, maybe a terrace, a double-story terrace house. And maybe we can look into also like children's education. Over here, 200,000 I think is maybe you study in the local university. If you think about overseas, definitely 200,000 is not enough. And what about other bills? Now with just these few points you can see on the slides here, that actually 1 million is definitely not enough.